Hi, my name is Angus Ho with Daddy Tip, a part of the Ash Management Group. I want to show how you can budget as a full-time engineer, make real estate investments, and live an exceptional family life as a dad. So come along with me in this journey of wealth. I wrote an article earlier in the week about the top 10 tips on how to become a successful engineer. In one of my tips I had written about practicing makes perfect, and how Tom Brady, one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks, and to achieve that status had to practice every day. So today I want to relate the two topics in more detail on how engineering and anywhere else in the world, whether you're on the field or starting out as a student or just wanting to get back into school for some upgrading, practice makes perfect. In the letter, Tom Brady wrote about his tips on how to become a successful quarterback. And today, I want to relate his tips with how you can apply it to engineering as well. The first tip that Tom Brady gives is don't focus on the negative and be optimistic. Tom Brady tells his story over and over again that he wasn't the first draft pick. He was actually picked number 199. He was actually picked number 199 with 6 other quarterbacks.
A familiar name if you're a college football fan. Tom Brady, the quarterback who all he did was lead this football team, put them in the right position more times than not. And when he got pulled from the game and Drew Henson came in, Michigan football was not as good as it was when Brady was in.
No question, Mike. Smart experience. This past season, he cut his interception total from 98 and a half, tossed 20 touchdown passes, only 6 interceptions. Threw a touchdown pass in actually all 16 games he started against Big Ten opposition during his career. Accurate. It was a very catchable ball. He really knows when to take a little off as well. I think that's the key, and he stands in that pocket very tough. He'll take a hit. Question's going to be...
He didn't even think he was going to make it. So, Tom Brady's first tip is don't focus on the negative. He says that it's really your mindset that needs to change. Don't make excuses as to why things are not going your way. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact that this is the way things are and keep pressing forward. In very much the same way, an engineer must stay optimistic. There will be times of trial. There will be times of trial. Problems can't be resolved. Pressure from managers. Criticism from peers. Sometimes you will even question, why didn't you get your way? Or sometimes you'll question why you got handed this set of cards. Stay optimistic. Give it some time. At the end of the day, everything works out. You want to be that person that can see that silver lining. You want to be that person that sees the positive, even though everyone else sees the negative. When things are going horribly wrong and you see a positive solution or a reason that this trial is a good thing, speak up. For example, during a pandemic, the world shuts down. People are losing their jobs. The stock market is crashing and everyone is sheer panicking. If you can see an opportunity through the mist and you take action, then you'll be more successful than anyone else. The second thing that Tom Brady says is continuous improvement. Brady says that it's important for athletes to reassess their career paths. It's so true. Being an athlete, you can only go so far at a certain age. Your body just starts aching, your joints starts stiffening, and eventually you won't be able to perform as well as the younger athletes. The average age of retirement of an NFL player is 35 years old. And then there is 30 more years before you reach 65 to retire. What are they going to do with all that money, I wonder? Are they going to spend it all? Or maybe it's time to think of a new career path. One of the greatest things about engineering is knowledge. Knowledge is something you can keep forever because it stays in your head and you'll never lose it. Continuous improvement is so important in engineering as well because technology changes so quickly and new knowledge becomes available. In my article, tip number 2 was continuous professional development. Take a designation or go to evening classes or maybe even a club. There is something out there for you. In general, continuous improvement is very important. This is the only way to become wise. You don't want to be that guy that gets stuck in his old ways. Speaking of continuous improvement, don't forget to continually smash that like button. Pow, pow, pow! And if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Comment below what you think makes a good engineer and that Tom Brady has. Tip number 3, focus on your weaknesses, not your strengths. Most people think that you should take what you are good at and work on improving it. Tom Brady disagrees. Are you that person that believes jack of all trades, king of nothing? Or keep all your eggs in one basket? I too agree with Brady on this one. You're only as good as your greatest weakness. Being well-rounded is important. In my article, Top 10 Tips for Becoming a Successful Engineer, I talk about improving your soft skills. Most people believe that by being technically smart, you will advance quicker in life. Did you know that there are 2 paths to engineering? You can be a specialist or you can become a manager. If you want to become a specialist, they are called subject matter experts or SMEs. This is the perfect career path for you if you don't want to work on your weaknesses and stick to your strengths. There is another philosophy out there as a starting engineer that at the beginning you want to work on your verticalness or your technical ability. As you progress in engineering, you want to work on the horizontal part of your career, which is your wings. That way, when a new company looks at you, you are a more rounded engineer in general. Not a lot of engineers think this, but how are your people skills, your communication skills, negotiation, management, or even your sales skills? It is important to keep working on your weaknesses, as this makes you more rounded on the field and as an engineer. Rounded people will definitely last longer in their specified field. More rounded people will likely possess skills and abilities that managers are looking for. Well-rounded people show their ability to adapt, learn, and work with other people. Tip number 4, attitude. The one thing that Tom Brady says that you can control is your attitude. He says, I achieve nothing by being frustrated or embittered. It's very true. You can spend your energy being negative or spend it being positive. Why not do something positive for the society instead of something negative for society? It is also true that as much as you think you control the world actually controls you. The only thing you have control over is yourself. Approach every problem with your best. Set your attitude to only achieve the greatest and the best. In my article of the top 10 tips of being a successful engineer is tip number 5, embracing change. Tip number 7, keep solving problems. Tip number 9, keep an open mindset. All these tips help you approach problems with a positive attitude. In engineering, problems will arise. Things will simply go wrong. It is up to you to embrace change, keep solving problems, and keep an open mind. The attitude in which you approach a problem will not only show how good you are at solving a problem, it will show others the manner that you approach and solve these problems. When approaching a problem with a solution, you have to consider, will this solution take out the rest of my team and only glorify yourself? Or will you just quit and slack off and not deal with the problem? Or will you force your solution onto others and not take any feedback? If you answer no to all those questions, then you have the right attitude. Keep going. Well, that's it. That is my comparison on how Tom Brady in the NFL is exactly the same as an engineer in the real world. If you like to hear more budgeting, engineering, or real estate tips, please leave a comment for what you want to hear, smash that like button, subscribe button, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I post new videos every week on Sundays. From the Ash Management Group, this is Daddy Dad saving you money.